Also in this mix, we have other water leaving. So we got our little forest out here, and crops and so on. We might have some kind of crops growing. And what's happening from those is we're getting transpiration. So transpiration is also going up in the air along with evaporation. Any free water surface is going to have evaporation, so we're also going to have transpiration, and we're also going to have what we call ET, evapotranspiration off those crops. Combination of transpiration and evaporation. That's going up into the air. Now, if nothing else, that's building humidity in the area. Out here in the desert, in fact, we've really increased the humidity of the desert in Washington over the last 30 or 40 years by all the irrigation that's gone in. It used to be a lot drier place when we didn't have these giant forests of cottonwoods and these huge fields of potatoes and corn and alfalfa and all these apple orchards and so on and so on and so on. It used to just be sagebrush and cheatgrass. Well, they didn't put much transpiration back into the air. Now all of a sudden we have a cover out there that's putting a third to a half an inch of water back into the air every day on a really hot summer day from every square foot of ground out there, where it used to be nothing was being evaporated because there was no water to evaporate off that sagebrush and that desert, whatever other desert plants were out there. So we went from a very, very low humidity to now we're starting to see in this area some humidity, which used to not occur. I mean, it used to be frequently under 10% every day. Now it's very unusual for it to be under 10%. We have to have a pretty stiff, drying wind blowing to keep that humidity down below 10% anymore. And you can feel that humidity. Go out and play around the golf in the middle of a hot day. You can feel that humidity coming right off of the golf course. You know, and it's somewhat uncomfortable. So you're always hoping there's a little breeze blowing, because then you get a little breeze blowing and relatively low humidity, that kind of cools you off. Well, that's another little thing out there, you know. We got all these little critters running around. Critters? You knew we had to have critters. You know, and they got a little action going too. They perspire. Not a whole lot of that's going on out there, but that's what we do. You know, the plants are transpiring. They're putting lots of water back into the air. All the animals and all of us humans are perspiring, and we're putting very small amounts of water back into the air. But that's the cooling effect we also get on our bodies that we feel. Whenever we are perspiring, we have water on the surface of our arms exposed to the air. When the wind blows across it, it evaporates it, and we get this evaporative cooling effect if the humidity is low. Now, you've probably all been in a real humid climate at some time in your life and found that that doesn't work quite that way. I mean, you can go down to the southeast and go to Georgia or Florida or a place like that in the middle of summer. It can be 90 degrees and 90% humidity, and you never dry off. You never feel that evaporative cooling. You never cool down, and you can never dry off. You always stay sticky, wet. I mean, you can take a shower and try to towel off, and you never get dry. There's too much humidity in there to get dry. It just stays on your skin. It's impossible to dry off unless you get into a dehumidified room. So the minute you get back out in the regular humidity of the day, you're going to instantly get this nice clammy heat all over you again. So you lose that benefit in certain parts of the country. That's why people that live in the Northwest oftentimes never want to leave the Northwest, because of the climate and how friendly it is to the human condition. It really is a very comfortable place to live compared to a lot of other climates in the country.